Oh, hello there. Welcome to B-Movie Enema, and I'm your B-Movie proctologist, Geoff Arbuckle. Last week, we took a look at Werewolves on Wheels, and that featured a cult of Satanists that turned a biker's old lady into a cursed werewolf. So, this week, I figure we can mix it up a little bit and still use some of the various concepts in that movie that we have in this movie's title. Instead of Satanists, how about we just go straight for Satan? And instead of having Satan on wheels, let's put him in a nice, stylish, and very sexy pair of high heels. It's cool. It's the 2020s, man. Why not let Satan do whatever it is that makes him feel more comfortable or more confident about himself? Anyway, I want to watch the 1962 bombastic sexploitation classic Satan in High Heels. And for a little taste of what we'll be seeing, I now turn it over to my lovely assistant, Nurse Disembaudee.
Satan in High Heels stars Meg Miles as Stacey Kane, former burlesque dancer turned singer at a high-class New York City club. There, she becomes the mistress of the club's wealthy owner, but also seduces his son. Tensions rise when her estranged husband comes looking for her and she tries to convince him to commit murder.
All right, thank you, Nurse. Let's talk a little bit about Meg Miles. She was a pinup model and singer from mostly the 50s and 60s, and this is likely pointed to as one of her bigger roles, but she appeared alongside such names like Clint Eastwood in Coogan's Bluff and Sean Connery in The Anderson Tapes. But she spent some time on TV in popular soap operas like All My Children, The Doctors, Search for Tomorrow, and Guiding Light. She passed away in late 2019, and an interesting fact about her is that she had the nickname of Jelly Bean Bones, and I suppose it was based on her birth name of Billie Jean Jones. But if it weren't for IMDb, I would have had no idea that nickname ever existed. But she wasn't just a model and movie actress, but she did a lot of work on stage and was recognized as part of the Tony Awards in Memoriam package in 2020. But we'll talk a little bit more about the music in the next segment, but Meg Miles is also the lead vocalist for the song The Female of the Species, which is a song that even I know, and I hadn't even seen this movie before preparing for this episode. So that's hardly anything to sneeze at. Remember, music expert over here. And we'll come back around to that soundtrack though, because this is a movie that's actually highly regarded specifically for its music. But say, Nurse Disembaudee, did you ever work at a nightclub?
I don't really want to talk about it.
Well, wait, why not? I mean, like too many jerk customers or something?
No, it's just that I'm not all that proud of the things I had to do to get through school. That's all.
Whoa, now wait a minute there, Nurse. I mean, did you work at a carnival as a burlesque dancer only to end up like moving to New York City to seduce a club owner and his son, only to have an ex-lover or something that that you convinced to try to kill said club owner?
Not exactly all of that, but some of that.
Now we're really going to have to talk about this, but let me in on a little bit more about this super secret backstory that I had no idea even existed until just this moment.
Look, nursing school doesn't pay for itself. Just leave it at that.
All right, I'll tell you what. I'll launch the movie for the audience, and then we'll talk kind of off the record, like off camera and whatnot. Cool? So I'm going to get more to the bottom of this business, but I'll see all of you here in a little bit.
show of featured entertainment. Show lasts 40 minutes. All beautiful girls. Lovely ladies who dances you've never seen them dance before. Striptease dancers. Shake, rattle, and roll dancers. The only place in the world you can find one. Now, if you're already so weak, it's just about 3 minutes till showtime. You get tickets here. Walk in, sit down, it's showtime.
I didn't hear you knock, honey.
Don't get up. Don't put that money away. A lot of it's mine.
Ah, now, Stacy, baby, don't stop that again. You know I can't have to pay the light bill. Hey, you had them hicks biting their fingernails tonight.
I'm glad to hear you testify. I want to raise Holly about 100%.
Are you crazy?
There's still 150. Otherwise, I'm thinking of taking a little trip. There's an early morning bus for New York.
You can't walk out on me. We got a contract.
I'll do you a favor. 5 minutes of my valuable time while you think it over. I'll be in that drafty sewer that you call a dressing room.
Hey, Stacy, wait. All right, I need you. So maybe I can manage a few extra bucks. Huh? Maybe $7 or $8 a week. It's just for you. Don't tell the other girls, huh? How's that? Let's drink.
By lousy. So get your dirty hands off me. Now I've got 4.5 minutes. What are you doing here?
I just had to see you, Stacy.
So? Now you have.
You look just the same.
I haven't got anything to say to you, Rudy.
Stacy, I don't want to blame you for anything, not even for turning me in.
I should hope not. You tried to kill me.
You threatened to leave me. Yeah, I'm not on anything anymore.
Good news. What's it got to do with me?
I want you to know why I did it, Stacy. Why I dragged myself up out of that grave. It was for you, Stacy. I found out I needed you more than I needed anything. Stacy, are you listening to me? Hey, look. Stacy, look, it's nearly $900. We can start all over again, honey. We can go to New York. Take me back. Please. Please.
Where did you get the money, Rudy?
The last few weeks in that place, I started to write again. I did a story on it, and I sold it.
You mean they pay $900 for a piece about junkies?
It was quite a story.
All right, Rudy. I believe you. How did you get out here from town, honey?
A cab. I got it waiting outside.
There's a 6 o'clock bus to New York, honey. Yes, baby, I'll go with you. We'll go together. But first, there's a man waiting to take me home. It's all right, he's just some local Joe. But he may cause trouble. Now, look, you wait here for me. I'll get rid of him. I've got to pick up some clothes anyway. And then I'll come back for you, Rudy. Wait, Rudy. Let's do it right. Just wait right here. I'll come back for you soon.
I got a fair lady.
The gentleman changed his mind. He's staying.
That's mighty nice of him.
Don't get your hopes up and keep your eyes on the road. I want to get where I'm going.
Where to, Duchess?
Municipal Airport. And step on it.
Office still goes.
Thanks. There is something you might do. You see, I'm traveling sort of light. I don't know about hotels when you haven't got any luggage.
I know just a place.
I thought you might. Your hotel.
Thanks, Peppy. We'll be there. Thanks, Peppy. Thanks. It's all set. She'll see it 4 this afternoon.
She?
Peppy. She runs the club. Oh, she's at other places, Paris, Berlin. You never heard of her?
I never heard of her. But it doesn't matter. Would you be?
Peppies? Well, this is Paul. Well, of course I remember you. Well, the 2:30 show's best. Of course, Bernard. That was Bernard.
Bear up, darling. I love your eyelash. By the way, where's that little air conditioning man?
Oh, he's still working. I think he's nearly finished.
Give him 10. He's earned it.
All right.
Oh, we have an audition. Any minute.
Well, what this time?
Female. Louis found her in Hollywood. Louis's girls are always female. Peter, darling. Would you mind if the door, I seem to have left it locked?
Yes, ma'am. He's a clean-cut kid.
Why don't you sit down and have a nice, long, cool drink?
Peppy, hiya, Peppy.
Louis, you slept in your clothes. Well, hello, Miss,
This is Miss Kane. Stacy Kane. Stacy, meet Peppy.
You sing?
Like a bird.
You're ahead of the crowd, Louis. Take a table near the music. I'll send you a drink.
Peppy, I just wanted to
Sit
say...
down, Louis. I've heard you sing. A drink first?
Thanks. And call me Stacy.
I will. What would you like?
Something like. I like your place.
It gets better after dark. I suppose Louis told you. We close for vacation in a few days and reopen with a new show in September.
He said you weren't set.
True. Stacy, have you met Vincent?
How are you, honey?
Hello, Stacy.
And Paul.
Welcome.
Oh, you must have been a Boy Scout. You're so kind.
If you've got your arrangements, Paul will play them for you. He's no Rubinstein, but he... Have you got a scissors? Allow me. Your price tag's showing.
Well, I just got this dressed.
You can do better. Tell me, where were you working in California?
I've never been to California. I met Louis on the plane this morning.
Excuse me, my mother's calling me.
Sit down, Paul. Look, Stacy, I like you.
I like you.
Provided you're all that meets the eye. There's no reason why you should audition. We use a few girls standing around, decoration.
No, thanks. I've had the chorus from Puerto Rico to Portland, Maine, and Oregon. I asked to sing. Let me.
Okay, fellas, let's take a break.
Work something out with her.
No, really, Peppy.
Yes, really.
Well, where have you worked before?
Places you never heard of.
I can believe you.
Look what's biting you. I dig you. Dig me. Okay. I get your message. Choose your weapons. Incidentally, I haven't got an arrangement with me. I'll sing. You just follow me. Hit me again.
Police! Arnold, I wasn't expecting you.
Louis called me. Hot, isn't it? Is there a boy to watch my car?
Of course. How was Washington?
Hot.
I thought you were in Baltimore.
Baltimore and Washington are very close, Felice. I was in both. Why don't you sit down?
I've been sitting for 4 days waiting for you.
I told you I'd be busy.
And my phone was working all that time. Oh, Arnold, if
Where's
you...
all the excitement?
She's waiting.
Anytime at all, I'll have a word with Louis.
In case you're interested, I'll be in the bar.
Easy now. We've a party to go to.
Your friends.
If you'd rather not go,
Trouble? As far as the eye can reach.
Well, hello.
Paul, dear. Introduce me. I'm Stacy. How do you do, I'm sure. I understand we're about to have the pleasure. I think I'll have it on the rocks for a change. Do you work here? Me? I'm a lily of the field. Or something. Good luck. I get it up. Stacy, stick around when you finish. Thanks.
You walked out of my life. You took my happiness with you. And here am I, so all alone, with eyes that will only cry. You walked out of my life. You took the spring and the summer. And now I know I can't forget, no matter how hard I try. I sit in my room and I tell myself life must go on now. But the only thing I know well myself is that you're gone now, gone. You walked out of my life. You left me here with a sadness, a sadness that will live till my life is through. For I'll always, always remember you.
Thank you. If you're not in a hurry.
I've got all day and night.
Oh, Peppy.
You liked her, Arnold?
Remarkable. Sit down, Peppy. The new show, I think. Can she be ready?
I'll see that she is. Tell me what you want.
Oh, not to change her, just shine her up a bit. You know, hair, clothes, and that sort of thing. And Peppy, keep her out of trouble. You understand me?
I understand you, Arnold. Let's join them.
I didn't get your name.
Arnold Kenyon.
Sounds familiar.
Well, where you stopping, Miss Kane?
Someplace he recommended.
Well, Louis doesn't go in for stately homes. But Peppy has a large and quite comfortable apartment. Perhaps you'd like to stay there for a few days until you find something, better.
I'm not sure I get what you mean.
Peppy will explain. Goodbye, Miss Kane. Oh, Elise, have you met Miss Kane?
I forget. Take me home, Arnold. Did I do all right, Peppy?
More than. Come on, Jerry. We've got a lot to do.
Fix your drink?
No, thanks, Felice.
You'd never believe this past week if I told you. Which I won't. It's all too dull, really. Nobody's in town. Nobody. I've been talking to the wall. If you knew how glad I am you're back. Arnold, couldn't we drive to the country for dinner? That little place where...
I thought you understood. This party is...
But why must you go? Those cheap politicians, hoodlums.
It happens to be important. If you'd rather not go...
Oh, I'd rather not. And I'd rather you didn't.
You shouldn't bother at all, Felice. I'll go alone. I've got to make a phone call. Will you excuse me, my dear?
You'll be back after the party.
I'm afraid not, my dear.
My dear, my dear. Is that the kiss of death?
Was there something in particular you wanted?
Yes. To read your mind. Arnold, I tell you, I cannot stay in this place day after day, never knowing when or if...
What about your sister, Felice?
My sister and I are strangers. And what would I do in Philadelphia?
Whatever the Philadelphians do, I suppose.
Why are you suggesting this? What are you doing?
You ought to go, obviously. Felice, I don't have much cash with me, but I want you to have this check. If you need the money now, I'll send Louis around to cash it for you.
You've been shopping around for weeks, haven't you?
I don't follow you.
But now the search is over. That girl at Peppy's, what's her name? Stacy. I wonder if you know what you found. Just one for the road. What do I do? Leave the keys with the doorman?
If you will. I knew I could count on you to be realistic, Felice.
Oh, I am. I am. Real realistic. Well, I see I'm also very lucky. I never dreamed that getting rid of me would be worth more to you than ditching that city councilman. You know the one I mean.
Now, just a minute before I go...
Don't bother. I know what you mean. So go now. Who would believe the likes of me talking about the likes of you and your operation? So don't worry, oh great white father. Besides, I love you.
That was the best dinner I ever had.
Just thrown together. My cook will be here in the morning.
She's better than you.
In the kitchen. Ask her for anything. She doubles as a maid. Make yourself at home. Some music?
Not just now. I like the quiet. My hair is a mess. Feels like a mop.
It is. But it will be fixed. Some talk?
There are some things I'd like to know.
Such as?
Arnold Kenyon.
He isn't easy to know.
Kenyon and you.
A business arrangement. He has many. I run his club as I have others. Rather better, in fact. Arnold wants a certain standard in clubs and in women.
The one that was with him?
Felice? She's an old friend of Arnold's and mine. She used to be in pictures.
What is she now?
Must I draw you a map?
Well, something's wrong there.
She hasn't quite worked out.
I only ask because I'm so anxious to get started.
Take my word for it, Stacy. You are started. And a word of advice. Don't rush things.
What do you mean? All I wanted to know was what
do you propose to do? Rush across the street and pay him a call?
Across the street? Oh, that big building on the corner.
That's a museum. His is the townhouse next to it. Oh, there's a light on the second floor. It's probably Larry.
Who's Larry?
The son and heir. Man, he's a night person. You tired?
A little. I feel kind of dazed. What about you?
Sleep's a waste of time.
Isn't it?
But tomorrow promises to be busy.
So I guess carnivals used to have burlesque shows, right? I've seen multiple movies from the 60s that featured various sexy shenanigans going on at a carnival. But I've never been to a carnival that featured a sexy dancer like Stacey Kane. Sure, the midway, various games at the odds are stacked against you on and all of that stuff, cotton candy, Ferris wheels, etc. All that stuff I recognize, but the burlesque show, I don't so much recognize that.
Maybe you have to go to a different kind of carnival.
I guess so. I mean, probably the kinds that you were telling me about earlier when we were off camera.
Very funny.
I love the start of this movie. It's quiet. It shows Stacy's cold, calculating nature, and then she dumps that chump of a husband, or whatever he really is. I guess he is technically her husband, and takes his money and flies right out of town. I mean, it's a pretty fantastic start. We don't really get our soundtrack until she leaves in the cab, and it's a wonderful jazz soundtrack from Mundell Lowe, who had a long career as a band leader. Lowe grew up in Mississippi as the son of a preacher, and he started running away from home to play with bands as early as the age of 13, but his daddy always found him and would bring him back home to lecture him on the evils of drink and whiskey and so on and so forth. But by the age of 16, he was already working on the Grand Ole Opry radio program. So, you know, he had been around for a little while. But after serving in World War II, Lowe would work with a long list of who's who of jazz and big band musicians, as well as some pretty notable singers. He worked with Doc Severinsen, both Jimmy and Tommy Dorsey, Charlie Parker, Billie Holiday, Ella Fitzgerald, Miles Davis. I mean, the list goes on and on. And in the 60s, he found himself working on movies and television programs, and he worked on TV shows like Starsky and Hutch and Hawaii Five-0, and movies like this one, and even Billy Jack. He turned out to have a relative knack for scoring TV and movies. And to be honest with you, I really do believe scoring TV and movies is an art form all of its own, just because you have to incorporate this other person's vision of something into your own style and provide music that doesn't just meet your standards, but the guy who did the directing, the editing, and then there's a third element, which is to elicit emotion from the audience. And then, you know, a movie like Satan in High Heels, you have this incredibly peppy and exciting score to go along with this very calculating and cunning Stacy. And on top of that, we met Grayson Hall as Peppy. And talk about a ball buster. I mean, Peppy and Stacy seen together has this contentiousness and almost a sexual energy to it. I wouldn't be all that surprised to learn that Peppy was intended to be a lesbian character. I mean, she's practically another male character in how she carries herself and in the way that she can go toe-to-toe with the other males in the club and the money guy in particular, as we'll see later on. And that's probably another thing to mention too. This was written in a time when everyone, kind of has this veneer to them. They're all guarded, but know exactly what they want and seemingly know how to get it. I mean, these types of movies are so much fun to watch because, everyone is just so rough and can stand their ground no matter how manly or feminine they are. And people say that what they mean, and they mean what they say. And that's always welcome in these kind of old-timey, these movies that just kind of had that chip on their shoulder, that attitude. All right, so let's get back to Satan in High Heels. Stacy is hired to sing at Pepe's Club and has her eyes set on the wealthy owner, Arthur, who just so happened to send his current lady friend away to Philadelphia so that he can kind of pick up on what Stacy is putting down, if you catch my drift. But we'll be back in a little bit.
Care if you can breathe or not. You'll wear a girdle and smile.
Now, that's for Pepe, Cinderella.
Mind your own business.
How did you live to your present age?
Oh, go soak your head, Paulette.
Put that down, Stacy. You'll eat and drink what I tell you to until you lose 5 pounds in the places where.
Now listen.
You listen.
No. Little birds in their nests agree.
Stop it this instant. Get out.
Pepe, she...
I saw it. Now go. Somewhere.
Well?
Difficult, aren't you?
I don't want any more of this.
You don't. Your decision, but be sure.
For days I've been running around this town like a mad woman. Shoes, hats, clothes. Walk this way, talk that way. Don't eat, don't sleep. I'm sick to death of it.
All right, shove off anytime. You do want it, don't you?
I'd like a cigarette and my feet up.
A little more work first.
One thing.
Yeah?
Kenyon.
I haven't seen him since you have.
Does he have the final say on me?
He trusts me. Okay, let's run it.
Angel!
Sabrina!
Welcome back.
Oh, sweetie, how wonderful to see you. I'm just off the boat and you're the first one.
You look wonderful, Sabrina.
Oh, it's clean living, dear. But, Paul, darling, do you have an extra cigarette, please?
Certainly, darling.
Actually, I've given up smoking. It does save carrying them around. But, Pepe, do let me tell you everything about the Riviera.
Not in front of the children, dear. Come, I want you to meet Stacy, and I want you to see your dressing room. It's been redone.
Angel, you've won my heart.
No, dear. A matter of necessity. The ceiling fell in.
Yes, dear, I know. Don't go away, sweetie. I'll be right back. Au revoir. Why, hello.
Hi. Stacy, this is Sabrina.
I've been hearing about you.
I wished I could say the same for you, dear.
You will.
I hear you sing rather well.
I strive to please.
You're kind of an artist yourself.
Isn't she sweet?
This was a mistake. Let's go.
Oh, do come over to my dressing room sometime. I'm just across the passage. One with a star in the door.
I've noticed. So long.
Oh, by the way, Peppy, how is Arnold?
As usual. I'll be with you in a minute, Sabrina. Tired?
Shot. I need a day off.
Later.
Did Arnold Kenyon find her?
Sabrina found herself. Get along with her, please.
I will. I want to swap dressing rooms with her.
We have a visitor.
Not allowed.
The Crown Prince himself, looking for Daddy.
Larry, wonderful.
So, they get on the moon, and this one says the...
Darling.
Peppy! It's good to see you. Listen, I hate to bother you, but, I can't seem to find Dad anywhere.
I expect he went away for a few days. He needed a rest. Can I help?
Well, spot of trouble. Nothing serious.
Tell me, Larry.
May I have a drink?
First things first.
Well, it's another traffic ticket. I may lose my license.
And a very good thing that would be. Oh, Larry, look, someday it will be serious.
Please, Peppy, no lectures. Just put me in touch with Dad, and I
I
promise
will
I'll
do
be...
nothing of the sort for your sake. Now, Arnold's at the end of the line with you, Larry. He told me so.
Dad always comes through.
Don't risk it, darling. You might have to go to work. We'll speak to Louie.
Oh, that one found under a rock.
And don't knock him, if you will. It's Peppy, darling. How are you at fixing things like tickets this lovely summer's day, huh? Ah, you're positively psychic, Louie. Yeah, he's right here. I'll put him on. And mind your manners. He's a doll, really.
Hello, Louie. Yeah, it's the bad penny again. Sure, Louie, I know how Dad is. Appearances. Yeah, I'm going to reform. I really am. I'm going to give up wine, women, the rich, full life.
Well, I think we're getting
Here's
there,
that,
Stacy.
Louie, and
That's
thanks
good.
again. Hello.
Hello yourself.
Oh, Stacy, I guess you didn't meet Larry.
I'm sure I didn't.
Stacy Kane? Meet Larry Kenyon. He's Mr. Kenyon's son.
That sounds reasonable. But I don't see much family resemblance.
You and Dad, are you, friends?
We've met once.
Oh, that's good. Dad doesn't talk much about this place or the girls here.
I am not just one of the girls here.
I can see that.
George, why don't you take 5?
I just did.
Again, please.
All right.
I see your lights at night.
Oh, how so?
I'm right across the street.
Oh, Peppy's apartment. Oh, that's wonderful. She didn't tell me.
Imagine.
Do you like fast cars?
I don't like slow ones. What do you like?
Fun and games and money.
We should form a little club.
Listen, I know a great little spot where we can have dinner, and then right after
Let's just
that...
play it by ear, huh? Give me a minute. I'll go change into something more uncomfortable.
And of course, it matches my eyes. Such a charming idea. Oh, don't you think so? A chaise lounge in my dressing room?
It ought to save wear and tear on the floor.
But of course. Lawrence! Angel boy!
I hear you conquered Europe single-handed.
Oh, well, now that's a slight exaggeration. But I'm told you want to take me out tonight. Unfortunately, I do have another engagement.
Well, you know, I was so sure of that I went ahead and made another date.
Oh, you're so far-sighted. I like that in a man. Oh, by the way, did you meet? Your name is...
I've met Mr. Kenyon.
Good. I say, what on earth is that?
It's a riding crop for Stacy's act.
She's riding? This I must see.
I've knocked off work for the day.
You've what?
I think I pulled a muscle.
Where?
My left shoulder.
You were all right a minute ago.
Well, these things happen.
I'll be in a minute to look at it.
Never mind, I can take
I'll be in.
Peppy, really, I must go now.
Fine, I'll call you later. I want to hear your new material.
Oh, it's absolutely divine. Heavens, where's Rosemary? Where's my baby?
Oh, Paul took her out to the curb.
Oh, thank goodness. Wow, what a turn. Well, goodbye, Peppy. And another time, Angel Boy. Oh, and do give my love to your dear father. Bye.
Something wrong?
I hope not.
Well, I'm all squared away with Louie. Happy as a lark. Now, may I have a drink?
The bar's just open. Where are you going later?
Oh, dinner eventually.
Your date?
Stacy. Beautiful, isn't she?
Beautiful. Don't go. Look, Larry, I mean it. It isn't wise.
Is she involved with somebody else?
I've been no man. She's hardly been out of my sight.
Well, then.
Look, Larry, I'm fond of you. Can't you take my word?
Well, Peppy, honey. I know you mean well, but I really like this girl.
It's quite possible to like a shark out of water.
Oh, I think you're afraid of losing your protege.
Proteges are on every corner. Look, Larry, you're a child.
No, I don't like that talk.
I don't like having to say it, but if it's the only way you'll listen, I'll
I
go on
won't
until
listen.
My shoulder's better.
For the practice you've had, you're a poor liar. I've had a chat with Larry.
I just bet you have.
I know, of course, why you accepted, but it's out of the question. You can't go.
I want to have some fun. I'm flesh and blood.
A little too much here and there.
Miracle of the week. Ought to be down to bones the way I've been knocking myself out for you.
You need discipline.
What have I had? Tender, loving care? For a lot longer than I like, I've been enjoying your cultivated company in that hothouse you live in. Or down here bellowing out my lungs. What I need is some fresh air. And a man.
Larry isn't a man.
Then I'll make him one.
You leave now, and you don't come back. Finish your face. You can have a drink with Larry at the bar and make your excuses.
Thanks a lot.
Peppy, a crisis.
I'm busy.
Don't be.
You wait here.
Well, Dad, there's this girl, Stacy.
Yes?
Well, I didn't get a chance to see her
Have
do
you
anything.
met her?
Uh-huh. I'm taking her to dinner.
Arnold, darling, the way you appear from the blue.
Hi, Peppy.
Is she ready?
Look, Lawrence, I'd like a word with you alone.
Stay here, I have things to do. Vinny.
What's the matter?
About those traffic tickets.
Oh, I thought that was all taken care of.
Hardly. Look, don't come here again.
What? Now, look, we went through that.
You know a number of nice girls. I suggest you see them.
Oh, Dad, who's telling who what? How's Felice?
Miss Hayden? She's in Philadelphia visiting her family. Why?
Well, now, how about that?
Look, if you have an interest in any of my enterprises, I suggest you find another more suitable.
Oh, maybe you want me to drive one of your trucks.
Speaking of driving, I also want that car, which is parked very badly, by the way, stored in a garage.
Oh, now look.
Or it'll be taken from you.
Hey, Dad, what is this?
I want the car stored now. Tonight.
But I told you I have a date. Now, how can I go on a date
Pappy
without
will apologize for you. The bank has notified me that some of your checks are coming back written in an extremely wobbly hand. I don't like that, Lawrence. Appearances. Also, according to my calculations, you're about 8 months ahead of yourself in your allowance. If I must close out your account, Lawrence, I will. Enough is enough. Good night, my boy. Now, Vinny. Small bills, please.
Yes, sir, Mr. Kenyon.
She'll be here in a moment.
Oh, thanks, Peppy. Hope Lawrence wasn't a nuisance.
No, I just turned my back for a moment, that's all.
Forget it, my dear.
I'm glad you're here. It's time.
Oh, the arrangements?
Done.
About the act?
You'll get your money's worth.
You've done well, Peppy.
I had good material.
Oh, thanks, Vinny.
Listen, Arnold, a word to the super wise. Just keep out of weather.
Oh, good evening, Miss King.
Good evening. One of life's little surprises.
What were you saying, my dear?
I said run for your life, but let it pass.
You're looking very well.
It's an illusion. I'm a wreck, really.
A drink might help.
May I, fairy godmother?
How would you like to be a pumpkin in the morning?
Oh, I think I'll risk it. Scotch, Vinny.
Right.
I met one of your kin this afternoon.
Oh? Oh, Lawrence, yes, he told me. He'd entirely forgotten something he had to do for me. I hope you can forgive him.
I'll try.
Peppy gives me a good report on you.
Was the leather costume your idea?
Suggestion. I thought it might suit you.
It does. Just got back in town, huh? Do you have plans for dinner?
Oh, none.
Peppy and I have begun to bore each other.
Well, then I could hardly ask both of you out, could I?
Hardly. Besides, I think that Peppy has another appointment.
Well, naturally. King Farouk and I are dining at Howard Johnson.
Looks like you're stuck with me.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Shall we go?
Indeed.
Don't wait up, Mother.
Can you cook, Stacy?
Me? No. Can you?
Yes, as a matter of fact.
Teach me sometime.
Do you, insist on scotch?
Let's experiment.
All right.
You're married, Peppy tells me.
Technically.
Why is it that men always say that?
Why, indeed. Drink up. I mix a mean martini.
So you do. Where is she?
My wife? In Europe. She prefers our living apart, and I don't mind.
That's interesting. But I meant, the lady who lives here, or did. Your friend.
Aren't you jumping to conclusions?
Am I?
Well, no. As a matter of fact, there is, I believe, a new tenant.
That's even more interesting.
Would you like to see the rest of the place? Take a look at the bedroom?
Ooh, I wouldn't want to miss that. By the way, where are you taking me on my invitation to dinner?
Oh, to that charming little place right next door.
Is it dressy?
So-so.
I won't be a minute. You can pour me another.
All right.
This way?
Right at the foyer. Oh, take a look in the closet. Hello? Police. Police is in Philadelphia. I told you that. What do you want with her anyway?
I wanted to offer congratulations on getting away from you. I'm about to do the same thing.
Listen, Lawrence, you may be considered a wit in some circles, but you don't amuse me.
That wasn't my intention. I just wanted to say, I'm not giving up my car, and you may not see me for a few days.
And just what do you propose to do? You can hardly be called self-supporting.
Well, I'll get by. So long, Pop.
Was it anybody I know?
No, just a wrong number. I've got to get that one changed.
Why didn't you let the new tenant do that? Might make her feel more at home.
If you like.
I like. But not now. First thing in the morning.
You know, I can't wait to show you off, Stacy. I like the way you look.
It's the dress.
Oh, no.
I've not finished in back. I think there's a hook at the top.
Mm-hmm. There is. Are you pleased, Stacy?
Here. With you. Hello?
I don't know if I'm glad or sorry you answered.
I do. I'm glad. Can you hold on a minute? Now. Are you still there?
Yes. Just wondering why I called.
Maybe you wanted to apologize for standing me up.
Wasn't like that. Look, are you staying there?
Well, a girl has to have a roof over her head. Are you at home?
I've left home.
Where then?
A bar on the village, 11th and Hudson.
I've got a rehearsal at 11. You want to have a cup of coffee with me?
I'm not coming there.
You weren't invited. Do you know a little coffee shop on the corner of 57th and 1st?
Yeah, I know it.
Why don't you meet me there?
When?
I'll hurry. See you in a half hour. You look like something left over from a flood.
Yeah. Does it matter?
Why spoil a good thing?
There's something I need to know. If you were
Good
my
morning. Morning. Coffee.
I'll have another.
You should eat.
2 coffees.
Something you need to know. What is it?
Well, the apartment.
I've moved in.
Well, that's...
Shouldn't I?
No, you shouldn't. You told me you weren't... You weren't just one of the girls. You said...
Something I need to know. What are you thinking?
What am I supposed to think? I called last night, and Dad was there, and you were there.
Just a minute. I don't exactly owe you an explanation, but you're going to get one. I can get along with Peppy, but not at such close range. Your father offered me that apartment. What it has been, I don't know, and I don't care until I get a spot of my own. And I take exception to... I guess this meeting wasn't such a good idea.
No, Stacy, please, don't go. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
It's all right. I guess it does look odd. You'll be going back to school soon. Well, maybe you'll invite me to the senior prom.
Listen, Stacy. I could be in from school every weekend. If I could just see you. What about today?
I told you, rehearsal. I'm due now.
Or later.
What?
I'll pick you up.
That's not the best idea.
Well, then we'll meet somewhere afterwards. Please, Stacy.
Here. We could meet here.
That's great. That is great. And we'll do something real far out, like, we'll go bowling, or we'll take a ride on the Staten Island ferry. No. I know. We'll go see Shakespeare in the Park. It's even free.
I don't think I can wait.
All right, so the plot is thickening at Pepe's nightclub where Arthur Kenyon, the owner of the club, is off on a vacation when his little playboy kind of fuck up of a son Larry arrives, and Stacy immediately decides to latch on to the young man. Not only that, but the club's other starlet, Sabrina, has arrived. Now, Sabrina is basically playing herself. She was a British model who was more or less modeled after every other blonde starlet popular at the time. She mostly got her acting start with playing ditzy roles on the BBC before rolling it into a minor film career. Do you want to know what Sabrina's biggest claim to fame is, though, Nurse Disembaudee?
What's that?
Well, it was her giant bazooms. She had a 42.5-inch bust. This movie, if you were able to add up her and Meg Miles' assets, come to a whopping 82.5 inches of balumbas. And that feels like that's got to be a world record of some sort, right? I mean, shouldn't that be a world record?
I think you need to get your mind out of the gutter, mister.
Whatever. Anyway, there was a BBC radio comedy show called The Goon Show that would pay lots of attention to Sabrina's bust by having references like, by the measurements of Sabrina and by the sweaters of Sabrina. I mean, no shit, her bosom was so famous, there are several references to her in some of the oddest places. For example, there was a jet fighter that had 2 large humps on the underside of it that the people in the Royal Air Force dubbed Sabrinas. In addition to that, a British firm that made trucks made a vehicle that had a protruding bonnet, and these vehicles were nicknamed Sabrinas because they had, you know, a little more in front. Sports cars that had extra rubber bumper blocks on the Dagmar bumpers popular in the older days were all noted to having Sabrinas on their bumpers, since the rubber on these blocks kind of stood out in front. I mean, don't get me wrong, nurse. I mean, boobs are a nice thing, but Sabrina's turned everyone into a 13-year-old boy who stumbled upon their friend's mom's Cosmo magazines during a sleepover. But let's get back to Satan in High Heels, and we'll see you at the end of the movie.
I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Kenyon, but she isn't here yet and we haven't heard from her. Yes, sir, the minute she comes in. He wonders if she's been in an accident.
She may have caused one.
Well, Tweedledee and Tweedledum
Are 1 hour and 45 minutes late for rehearsal.
I'm sorry.
And I won't stand for it. Do you realize you've an opening in 2 days?
I'll make it.
One of your admirers has been calling you every 15 seconds.
I have so many.
Arnold.
Call him for me, will you, and tell him I had a fitting or something? I'll change and be right with you.
And I want to know where you've been.
A long walk.
Be careful. You may take a longer walk.
Somehow, I don't think so.
I'll speak to Arnold. Oh, thanks, baby. Your mother needs a lift.
Merci.
Who doesn't have to today?
Oh, stick around, Vinny. Have a drink.
Well, that was a quick change. Usually you're slower than Christmas.
I'm exhausted. I want to get out of here.
Vinny, give her a drink. Vinny's here to revive the weary.
I'll have just one.
How'd it go, Pat?
Oh, fine, but I'm beat. How was my song?
I hate the sight of you, so hate to say it. But I've never seen it at a rehearsal. You might say I was proud of you. You don't have anything to worry about tomorrow night.
That's what everybody keeps saying.
Keep saying what?
Arnold, I thought you said you couldn't come.
I wouldn't miss it. Didn't Peppy tell you?
That was a surprise, Arnold.
What's a surprise?
A small party here. Everybody in the show and a few people I'd like you to meet.
Oh, well, I can't stay. I've got to get home. I'm dead for sleep.
Oh, stick around for half an hour, Stacy.
And then I'll drive you home.
No, I can't.
But the party's for you.
Well, that's all very well. And I hate to be a party pooper, but I can't face it. I shouldn't even be having this drink. Good night, Peppy. Arnold, don't bother. I'll take a cab.
Excuse me.
Well, I guess the kid is rather beat.
Maybe.
I am not upset, I'm tired. T-I-R-E-D. Where's the mystery? I've been working myself in and out of the woodwork, and I have an opening tomorrow night.
But we need to talk.
Oh, if there's one thing I don't need, it's conversation. Now, good night. Hello?
You alone?
No, I'm alone.
I've been calling.
I just got in.
Expect you're tired.
No, I'm not tired at all.
Hungry then?
No? Maybe a little.
I'm at that same coffee shop. I thought maybe...
Are you asking me?
I guess I am.
Then I guess I'll be there. Just give me a few minutes to change, huh?
Oh, hello. I hardly recognized you.
I'm really Catherine Hepburn. Who are you?
Oh, I don't know. Cary Grant. Why are we here?
We are about to make off with the stolen diamonds.
Oh, across the desert.
I have a camera ready.
There's a full moon out tonight. Or was.
I never see the moon in the city.
Would you go to the moon?
Yes. I'm glad to see you.
It's the same with me. Would you like to take a drive?
Where?
Oh, I don't know. I hadn't thought. I know. There's a place I liked when I was a kid. It's near the family's house, and you can see the ocean from there, and sometimes even a ship.
Your family's house?
Yeah.
Is it far?
Well, it's quite a drive. Are you up to it?
Mm-hmm.
We'll get something to eat on the way, or there. Power's off.
Do you know your way around?
Well, I should. This is where I grew up. Are you afraid?
No, Larry. I'm not afraid.
Bravo. Bravo.
Oh. Good morning.
Yes. Isn't it?
I saw you swimming.
Should have come out. Water's wonderful.
We'll go again later.
Later. Come here.
I'm shaving.
You heard me. Come here.
Well, when do you have to get back to town?
Never.
Oh, no, I didn't know. Sooner or later.
I can pretend, can't
Oh.
I've been here for some time.
And all alone? It must have been dull.
Quite the contrary. I like the view from these windows. The new buildings and occasionally an interesting sports car on the street.
Oh, the view's all right.
Look, this apartment is exactly as we left it yesterday when I took you to rehearsal. Where have you been?
In the country.
I thought you were so tired.
Right. I went to relax.
And did you?
Yes. All over. And right now I'm going to go relax some more. I'm going to take a nap, Arnold, so I'll see you at the club tonight.
You were with my son.
With your son at your house. And for your information, I've seen him every day since we met, some days twice. And I think I can have him if I want him, and I think I do.
Lawrence will be sent away. I'm not going to have him around you.
Of course, you won't want me here after this. So I'll move back to Pepe's. Or maybe a hotel, maybe Louis' hotel. I'll find myself another job and another...
I'm sorry. Stacy, I shouldn't have done it. I shouldn't have done it, Stacy, but I'm sorry. Please don't leave me. Please, I'll give you anything you want, but please don't leave me.
Give me a while, Arnold, to think how I want it.
Hello, Peppy. Well, Felice.
Where's the vast cheering throng?
We don't open till 10. What brings you to town?
Love. Or money. I'm forever getting those two mixed up. How's Arnold?
As usual. Look, why don't you go have a drink? I'll join you in a minute.
I want to thank you, Stacy, this afternoon at the apartment for our new understanding. For the first time, we've been completely honest with each other, haven't we?
Yes, Arnold. Completely.
I'll come to your dressing room before you go on.
You do that.
Peppy, happy opening.
I hope so. You're early.
Lawrence been around?
How was he expected?
Well, I should think so. As soon as... Oh, Felice, how are you?
I just dropped by to wish everybody well tonight.
How kind of you.
I thought so. Under the circumstances.
I want to see Lawrence at once in the office.
Of course, sir.
Perhaps we can have a drink later.
I'll be around. To the troops.
This is my last season. I'm buying a rocking chair and keeping a cat.
Bonsoir, Peppy.
I've changed my mind. Who wants a cat?
Not I. Angel, you look divine. But really, I must go. I can't talk to you now because I have to get ready for the show. Au revoir.
Atta girl. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present our own Sabrina.
So here we are alone in your apartment. No, I'm not sorry that I came. I've seen all your etchings, and I've heard all your records. But the answer is still the same. I would if I could, but I can't. So be good. Stop the music, put on the light. Please don't hold me quite so tight. Another kiss and I think I might. I would if I could, but I can't. I won't, no I won't. But it's not 'cause I don't. Mama gave me the best advice. Mama's been there once or twice. She said no dice till you get that ice. I would if I could, but I can't. Heaven knows I'm in the mood. Heaven knows I'm not a prude. But let's go out and get some food. 'Cause baby, it's hot inside. I'm in my prime, but tonight's not the time. I like diamonds, I like furs, a Cadillac, the kind that purrs.
Larry.
Is Stacy here?
Yes, Larry, she is. But now look, your father's waiting for you in the office. He wants to see you.
That'll just have to wait.
Larry!
If you'd like to feel a thrill, if you'd like to
chill. Better pay that old gas bill, 'cause baby, it's cold inside. I'm in my prime, but tonight's not the time. One more kiss, and then that's all. Hold me up, or I might fall. My will is big, but my want is small. I would if I could, but I can't. I can't be good.
I've been trying to call you all day.
The phone was off the hook.
Huh?
He didn't leave me alone for a minute. He practically took a shower with me.
He? Who?
Arnold, of course. He was waiting. He saw you bring me home.
But what of it? What can he do?
You remember what I told you about your father and me?
Yes, you said it was only...
Well, it was more. It was even more this very afternoon. I should never have let you take me to the door. Larry, you're the only one I want.
And you're...
Larry, I love you.
Oh, come in, Lawrence. I've been waiting for you.
I'm sorry I kept you waiting. Listen, Dad. I've got to talk to you.
All right. Let's talk.
Well, I don't know where to begin.
The show is on.
All right. Have you seen Arnold? Him before my song.
A family conference, I believe.
Well, how long does that go on?
Tell me, have you by any chance made an important mistake? Probably. There's an awful lot of wear and tear, playing all sides against the middle. You probably could use a friend when you really what for. What for indeed? Poor friend.
Well, Arnold, I thought you'd forgotten about me.
Louis, yeah?
Yeah, I'll find it for you.
I'd like to see him at my table.
Arnold. Peppy says you spoke with Lawrence.
Lawrence is going to Europe for a year, possibly 2.
But what about school?
School will be tame after his summer in town. He's out of his element here, and I'm grateful to you for making him realize that. And let me tell you, this trip was his own idea. My son is not so open-minded as I am. Shall I drive you home after the show?
You like.
I do. I want us to be together constantly from now on.
Peppy, you've got to find him for me. Bring Lawrence here, please.
Sing your prettiest.
Do you think that you can find Mr. Kenyon's son, Lawrence, for me?
Oh, I can try, Miss Kane.
Do. Tell him to meet me in my dressing room right after the show, please.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm the kind of woman not hard to understand. I'm the one who cracks the whip and holds the upper hand. I'll beat you, mistreat you, till you quiver and quail. The female of the species is more deadly than the male. When you mess with me, you're fooling around with the flame. When you find that you've been burned, you've only yourself to blame. I'll hurt you, desert you, if you ever should fail. The female of the species is more deadly than the male. There's no doubt about it. I'll take my hat and go when our affair cools down. So long I can do without it. I'll find myself another man. I'll find myself a clown. I'm just like a gambler. You have to take a chance. With me you play a long shot when you gamble on romance. The payoff is way off. Here's the point of the tale. The female of the species is more deadly than the male.
Tell you turn up at the craziest times.
Yeah, you come up away in the world, haven't you, Stacy?
Worked at it?
Yeah, I'll bet you have. Did my money help, huh?
I didn't spend any of it, Rudy. You can have it all back.
Later, Stacy.
What's wrong with you? Need a fix or something? I'm not a pusher, but if you...
Sure, I need a fix. I need something else a lot worse. I need to cut you up. Listen, Stacy, you're never gonna do to anybody what you did to me.
Who is it? Just a minute. Rudy, be quiet, please. Please be quiet. Did you find him?
Not in the club, Miss Kane. Unless he's in the office.
Well, why didn't you look in the office?
Mr. Kenyon just went in. I'm not allowed when he's around.
Right. Is Mr. Kenyon alone?
I guess so.
Thanks. I want to get away from this place, go away with you. Remember how things used to be when we were together before the fights, before all the trouble. Oh, Rudy, wait together. Can you take me back? Will you take me back, Rudy?
You mean now?
Yes, let's run away together now. Oh, Rudy, please. Please. No, I can't.
Why, Stacy? Why?
There's this man, this terrible man. He's a vicious man, Rudy. He'd run after us. He'd kill us. He'd find us no matter where we went. We can't go anywhere that he wouldn't come. Unless...
Unless what?
Where's the knife?
Oh, Stacy. Stacy, you can't.
And you...
Stacy,
It's the only way. You will, Rudy, won't you?
me?
It's the only way. His name is Kenyon. At the end of the hall, there's only one door. Hurry. I'll be waiting for you.
Mr. Kenyon?
Yes?
What do you know from?
She's my wife. She's my wife.
That's enough, Louis.
Stacy.
Did you do it? Did you do it?
Please, Stacy, can we go now?
No, we've got to stay here a minute. It would look suspicious. When they find Arnold,
Stacy, tell them who I am.
I never saw this man before in my life. Arnold, Larry, I love you.
Martha, what have you done for me lately? What have you done for me? Last month, last week, last night, today, like lately.
Alright, and so goes the story of the pretty Stacy, the lovelorn father and son, and my favorite character in the whole damn movie, Peppy. Let's talk about Grayson Hall before we call it quits this week. Hall had a TV career before this movie, but after this, she kind of shot out like a rocket. 2 years after this movie came out, she was in The Night of the Iguana, and that's a kind of a big deal movie. It was directed by John Huston, one of the greats of film, and it's about a clergyman who is on a tour of the Mexican coast with a bunch of middle-aged Baptist ladies, but he's also having to come to terms with some failures in his life. Hall ended up getting nominated for Best Supporting Actress for the film. And considering that she was in a movie with Richard Burton, Ava Gardner, and Deborah Kerr, her standing out like that is one hell of an accomplishment. But after that, she appeared in Disney's That Darn Cat, which was also a huge hit. But then after that movie, she mostly returned to television parts, with the biggest role easily being Julia on 475 episodes of Dark Shadows. Now, she suffered from lung cancer, and considering her raspy, sandpapery voice and the fact that everyone is smoking like a goddamn chimney in this movie, that really probably shouldn't surprise anyone. She passed away in 1985, relatively young, like in her 60s. And I believe that all there is as a memorial to her is a small marker near where she lived that just has her name and the date that she passed. But to be honest with you guys, every scene that she's in this movie, I mean, she's stealing all of the thunder. As pretty and interesting as Meg Miles is, Hall is just not having it. And it's just so much fun watching the two of them work opposite one another. But, you know, I really like this movie. It's sexploitation because it's a pretty young woman taking advantage of men around her and using her various wiles to get what she wants without any regard for who she might hurt. It fits in nicely with a lot of exploitation themes like narcissistic behavior of, well, likely women and a woman who knows exactly how to attract and use people. Stacy's definitely younger than Arthur and her doofus ex at the carnival, but seemingly so much older than Larry. And when you look at the Arthur and Larry, those two characters in particular, she drives one crazy because she can't be controlled and drives the other one bonkers because she has all the control over him. It's fun, and it's maybe doesn't speak to the height of proper and realistic female characters, but it's definitely a lot of fun. But also, this movie doesn't work without Meg Miles. What's so great about this is how she makes these small little glances or turns the corners of her lips up into a sinister grin. Or, you know, just frankly how she slinks around a room. We first see her as a burlesque dancer, so okay, we get it. She's good at using her form to get things, but apparently she also sings, but we get very little of that. We go through a whole movie about how great of a star she is without actually seeing too much of why everyone thinks she will be a star. But it all leads to that song, The Female of the Species, that ends up working out as a great lead up for the climax of the movie. Because we have to wait for her opening night, we need Miles to manipulate us like she does everyone else, and damn it, it works. But Nurse Disembaudee, did this movie remind you of the times that you performed at nightclubs singing sultry lounge songs while wearing bustiers and such?
A little bit. I will always remember those mistakes I made with that poor guy and his father. I mean, never mind.
Yikes. Okay, well, let's tell people where they can get all the B-Movie Enema business.
You can find all of Geoff's writings and upcoming episodes at www.bmovieenema.com. You can follow the page at Facebook and Twitter and check out episodes on YouTube. If you have a Roku, get OtherWorlds TV and check him out along with all the other hosts that appear there on weekends.
Thanks, Nurse. I kind of feel like I feel like you and I need to, maybe discuss some things after this episode. I mean, things got a little weird this week. Anyway, see you guys.